Hello, it is intense out there. There is a lot of energy happening everywhere. And I'm hearing so many people, clients and friends alike, that are really working hard to stay in a higher vibrational pattern, regardless of the chaos that is swirling around, either politically or personally, or just driving from point A to point B. I don't know about you, but man, the drivers around my area are getting intense. So, the big question that's been coming up is, how do I stay in my heart? How do I stay in a place of love and contentment and compassion for everyone and just kind of stay neutral and not get sucked into the heaviness that some people are carrying, right? And it's not a judgment like I'm better than you because I'm in a higher vibrational pattern. It's more just a noticing of the stories that we're giving energy to and the choices that we as a human can consciously make to say, you know what? I'm going to stay in my heart. I'm going to stay in a place of compassion. And I think many of us feel like we are a victim of circumstance. Like if somebody comes into our field that has a heavy energy, or they're complaining, or they're carrying a big burden, or they're really negative about their outlook on what's happening, that we're kind of pulled into that energy against our will, as it were. But I'm here to tell you that you have the opportunity in each moment to make a conscious choice to either kind of drop down and meet in that lower vibrational plane, which is, again, not better or worse, it's another choice, or to stay in this energy of the heart where there is much more potential and possibility available to us, and invite energetically the people and circumstances around us to meet us here. So, how do we do that? Well, there's three pieces of it, and I have a little piece of paper so I didn't forget. But one, the first step is when something is triggering a different vibrational signal in you, it's because there's a residue of something living within you that just got triggered. If there wasn't anything living within you that's related, then it wouldn't have hooked you in that way, whatever that circumstance is. Let's say it's somebody griping about their boss. So if you get triggered by that and you feel your energy shift, it's because there's some hook there. So step number one is to take a breath and to notice, what is this situation, this story, this experience, this energy bringing up in me? Because a lot of times our focus is outside of ourselves. And so we're looking at that person and maybe we're dropping into judgment. Well, that person shouldn't have that point of view, or that person's always nego, or that person is blah, 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 fill in the blank, or that if that person had made a different choice, then maybe he or she wouldn't be in that situation. And on we can go in the analysis and the mind and the looking and sending our energy and attention outward. But what would happen if we bring our attention inward and go, I feel a little shift in my own energy field. That must mean that there's a dust bunny or a residue or a big old boulder of something that always gets me going about that. And that is what is yours to tend and to clear. So you could do work with a guide, you can journal, you can meditate, you can get quiet and have inquiry within yourself, you can dance, whatever it is to get in touch with the deeper piece that is here. That is what we do first, because when we can look under the rug or look under the blanket and go, oh, I see what that is. That triggers, like for me, I have a big part that doesn't want to ever do it wrong. So when I end up in conflict with someone or even having a differing point of view, I drop into how I must have done it wrong. And then I analyze, communication's really important to me, and where did I go wrong? And I thought I was a very clear communicator and maybe I'm not. And so there can be self-doubt. There can be making myself wrong. There can be there's an old family pattern of being made wrong for choosing whatever I'm choosing. So there's all these different avenues to play with, but I've done a lot of that unraveling or that inquiry work, so I know what these things are the vast majority of the time, and I can go, oh, okay, there's that thing where I automatically think or worry that I'm wrong, and I can show up for that part of myself with love and compassion, which helps to clear that layer of you know, residue out of my system. And now I am able to stay in that higher vibration because I'm showing compassion and presence to myself and allowing myself to engage with all of what's here rather than focusing my energy outward. And so we kind of, what we want to do is notice what's here. And then step two would be engage in some curiosity, like, what is that about? And then once we discover more of what that's about, then three is we really feel into our heart that compassion, that understanding, that clarity. And then the other offering I would leave you with is when other people are making choices that either we don't, the mind, right? It's the mind that has this point of view, like it should be this way, people should vote for this person, they should eat this at the dinner table, they shouldn't eat dinner, they should drive slower, they should drive faster, right? It doesn't matter what it is, but most of us have this tendency to judge and create expectations around how everybody should do the thing, and probably in a similar way to how I do the thing, right? Because that's the best way, always, right? um, and but just catching ourselves in those moments, and rather than really needing someone to do it different for our systems to be settled, and this is really a nervous system trigger, right? Like we start to feel unsafe or triggered or unsure when someone is doing something differently than we might have done it for ourselves. So if you think about life as a giant buffet table, and everything is on the buffet table. Like if you think about going to a restaurant where there's actually a physical buffet, and there's, let's say, something on the buffet that you don't like, that you really just would never put on your plate, it doesn't please you. Do you go and get the manager of the restaurant and ask the manager of the restaurant to take that dish off of the buffet because it's so offensive you can't possibly have it there? I'm going to go ahead and guess that you don't do that, and that what you actually do is just move on. You just choose to not engage with that food, and then you look around and you put your energy into more of what you do want that's on the buffet. Let's say you're sitting with four friends at the buffet, at the buffet restaurant, and maybe they picked the food that you don't like. Well, maybe you have a discussion about it, like, oh, how could you like that cucumber salad? It's so slimy, I just don't like it. Or maybe you say nothing at all because Joe likes cucumber salad, and what difference does it make? So it's what people are choosing, especially when we don't understand it. Can we just choose to leave it on the buffet and just let it be on the table, but know that that's something that we don't choose to play with because that's not in alignment for us. But that doesn't mean that for whatever reason it is it's in the other person's highest potential, or it's in alignment, or it's a choice that they're making out of old patterns of fear or pain or hurt or protection, and that they will choose that until they're complete choosing that, but that doesn't actually impact what I put onto my plate from the buffet. So I love this analogy from my teacher Sylvie because it really helps to just neutralize that everything can be on the table. It doesn't really matter, but what matters is what I choose to put on my plate, what I choose to bring into my body, into my field. And it doesn't really affect me in any other way to let the other things just sit on the table. And that will help your nervous system from getting so triggered so often by what other people may or may not be choosing. I super hope this is helpful. Please do let me know if you're getting stuck somewhere or you want some help. I'm here to assist. Just write something in the comments and I will write you back. And if this is resonant for you and you think somebody in your life might benefit from hearing this, please feel free to share this video. I love spreading the word. I'm Dr. Nicola Dellinger from Pura Vida, and I can't wait to see you next time. Thanks for being here.